welcome everyone. Welcome to the Check-In Podcast. My name is Cameron.
My name's Ian.
And we just want to welcome you to the Check-In Podcast, a podcast geared towards young adults and teenagers where we just talk about life. We talk about current events. We talk about politics, sports, entertainment, pop culture, just whatever is happening in the world right now. We talk about it and we give you our perspective. From time to time, we have guests. Sometimes it's just me and Ian, but yeah, it's just from our perspective. So again, welcome to the Check-In Podcast. If this is your first time here, thank you for tuning in and taking time out of your day. If you are a returning guest, I want to also say thank you and taking time out of your day to hear us talk. And today on this episode, we have a guest, Darius Hardy.
Hey guys, my name is Darius. I go to Oakwood University.
So Darius is somebody I met first, despite what.
No, you did not meet him first. Anyways, I play FBS with him.
Yes,
sir.
Y'all got it. My bad. But Darius is someone that me and Ian both went to high school with. And he's just here today to, just add some flavor to the conversation. Because today we're going to be talking about just social media and just the various effects that it has on society. But before we even get into that, what we're going to do is check in with our word of the week. So, Darius, since you're our guest, you get to go first. So if you could use one word to describe your week, either last week or describe your week so far, even though I know it's Tuesday, but just describe your week so far with one word or phrase.
Okay. One word I can describe my week is I was feeling a sense of exuberance.
Big word.
Exuberance.
The word is going to be in the definition going to be in the comment section.
Exuberance is basically just being happy because basically had a chill week. Normally, since I'm at home freshman for college, like it's really stressful. So this week was kind of calm. So the less stuff I have to do, the more happy I am.
Did you have a spring break?
No spring break.
Like not at all? Or?
Not at all. 4 classes whole week. No break. And you know what the excuse was? It was crazy. They were like, we don't want students to go home. I was like, okay, then cancel classes and just have the students on campus. They were like, nah, if you don't want y'all doing nothing. I was like, all right, bro. I was like, okay.
Man, that really sucks. I feel like everybody needs a break. Because Howard tried to take away our spring break, and we were just like, we're not having it. Like, absolutely not.
But according to the Howard Twitter, they should have taken away the spring break.
All right. All right. Don't do that. We're going to move on from that subject. Ian, your word. Your word of the week.
I would say that it's my word of the week, or my phrase is like moving forward. Because I got a month left in high school. Got 1 month. I already made my college decision. And yeah.
That's good. I'm proud of you. So you're excited to be just moving forward. Are you excited about college?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know.
I feel like if anything, it's about to be so deep, so packed, so many parties, especially like after like the COVID year we've had.
I ain't going to no parties.
Even if you're vaccinated and
I already know
everything's
that's
good.
Vaccinated.
He's lying.
If I'm it gotta be small. I can't go to
like a kickback.
Yeah, I can't do all that, man. I don't even like parties like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's lying.
I don't like parties like that.
You don't like parties?
No.
Since when?
I've never really liked parties.
Okay.
It's too many people, sweaty bodies and everything like that. It's gross.
Okay, I do have to agree with that because that's one thing I really don't miss about like college parties or even high school parties is just like I don't know if you ever went, but like when I was in high school, there was this party in the DMV called One Raw Summer. It was like one of my friends, Paul, he threw it and everything. And he had like, I want to say like, it was like 3 summers in a row where he had like that particular party. But looking back on it, I'm just like, wow, I was really packed in that basement with a bunch of people just sweating and dancing.
That you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, like I knew enough people, but like still a bunch of people that I didn't know as well. So it was kind of hectic. I don't miss that, and I don't miss that at college parties either, because it's worse. Like, you going to people's houses, nowhere to sit, like.
And then it gets worse when the people start throwing water everywhere. It gets even more steamy.
Nah, bro.
That joint just gets musty. It's like, bro, I gotta get outside, bro.
Well, hopefully you'll have some better party college experiences. But speaking of college, my word of the week is surreal, because I'm officially, like, if I stay on track, which I will, I'll officially be able to graduate with in May 2022 with my class. So this is my last month of junior year, and I will be going to my final year of college, and I'm so excited. Time really went by, and I hate school. So I'm honestly excited to just be moving on.
Good.
So yeah. But before we even get into the topic for today, some current events. How y'all feeling about DMX?
That's tough.
That's real sad, bro.
Yeah, that's super
real
tough.
sad.
That's like, bro. I never really I'm too young to be like, know what his like music dropped and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like when Vine came out and everything like that, and his music was everywhere. I was like, bro.
And then when the Deadpool movie, remember the Deadpool movie? Give it to
He was in the Deadpool movie?
Yeah.
I was like, who is this goon, bro? And it was DMX. I said, that's tough. And then like every once in a while, especially like this week, his like video of his concert resurfaces. And like it's like a million people.
I can't even believe that when I see it. I'm like, it's like hard to wrap my mind around. I'm like, well, where the hell was he for that many people?
So, yeah,
like what was the venue? I want to know.
Like there's like I don't see an open field or anything like that.
Nothing
Enough to pack that many people.
Nah.
And they were moshing and everything like. That mosh pit was looking kind of fun. I can't even lie to you.
And you saw like a bunch of people. I have never seen like so many white people in the audience of a rap concert before.
Yeah, I know they were saying the N-word though, but that's.
Oh, I did. I saw him saying it, but I mean, DMX had the crowd going crazy, and I didn't know that all 5 of his albums went platinum. I didn't know he released 2 albums in 1 year, and they both went platinum. And apparently, like, he's also responsible for like reviving I want to say, was it Def Jam? Apparently that like record label was like going downhill, and then like he had his 2 platinum albums sell out. Well, he not sell out, but like he has 2 platinum albums, and then like all of his rap albums have been platinum, and just like kept the record label like afloat. And I didn't know that apparently he was at 14 he smoked a J, and somebody gave it to him that was older than him, 30 years old, and he's 14, and it was laced with crack.
Wow. I ain't know that. That's crazy.
And DMX is like, I think he's like 50.
Yo.
So for it to be laced with crack, it was definitely during like the crack period.
Yeah.
And for that to even be happening, I was just like, that's just sad, and like people don't understand addiction and how that like manifests. So my prayers are for him. I do feel sad for him. But yeah, that's that. I want to talk about DMX. Did anything else happen? Because I feel like I just be out the loop now for some reason. Oh, college basketball.
I don't really want to talk about college basketball.
I know you didn't like the game last night, but I did see that clip of the game winner.
Saturday night, yeah, that game was a classic. I've seen a lot of classic games, a lot of classic college basketball games. But that's the most recent one I've seen. Another recent college basketball game that was like a classic was Kentucky versus UNC. I don't know. You remember that? With De'Aaron
Oh,
Fox.
yeah,
and
of course.
And what's his name? Luke May hit that game when I was hurt. Cause I like Kentucky. I especially liked Malik Monk on that team.
Malik Monk was a dog.
He was like dropping 40.
He was dropping 40.
I was just like, bro. And then another classic was the one where I lost $5 to Cameron on. It was UNC versus.
He tried to give me my money. He lost the bet fair and square. He gave me my money all in quarters, you guys.
Oh, come on, bro.
He's a sore loser. He gave it to me all in coins.
You still got the money though.
$5 all in coins.
How do you have $5 worth of coins?
This is back in the day when Ian used to keep his money like an old man in a can underneath his mattress.
Yeah. Goodness. Anyways, But I look back on that shot and I'm just like, bro, I lost money on that game, and like I never bet anymore.
He lost $5 on the game.
Okay, I was like, what? That was 2016. I was what? 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's tough. I didn't have no job, no nothing. You know what I mean?
$5. It was $5.
I'm still that's my money.
Anyways, did you watch it too?
I watched some of it. I don't really remember basketball games like that because there's so many.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, I remember stat lines though. I think Darren had like 22 and 14, and Malik had 40 that game. But a classic, a real like one that we haven't had in a long time is an undefeated team that faced an 11 seed and then went to overtime to a game winner half court shot.
Yeah, okay, that was Saturday night.
That was Saturday night. Yeah.
That's the one I saw on Twitter.
Yeah, that was wild.
Like, what?
Sad part was he got up, hit the game winning shot to no fans, cardboard boxes in the stands.
Yeah. He did jump on the table. And
I was like, who are you yelling to?
But see, that's the beauty of social media. Like, if social media didn't exist, only if you watched the game on TV would you have been able to see that, and maybe you've been seen highlights on YouTube. But with social media, that clip came out, everybody's seen it. So I mean, like, he still has the fans in a sense. It's not in the stands, but like the video reached the people that it would have reached. So
yeah. But
speaking of social media, so we're having the podcast today because we always have these conversations off camera and whatnot about social media and just how like it's, I want to say, tainted our society, clouded people's like the perception versus reality. Like, it's made people see things differently and just think life is supposed to go a certain way. So my question to you guys is, do you think at one point in time social media was a good thing? I think.
Yes.
Do you think it's surpassed its good, or
so I always like to keep hope up because I see like good things from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
But everything on social media that happens thrives because of negativity. Like literally almost everything. It like someone going viral because they're joning on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That, I mean, if it's still jokes, cool, but it's like still negative. Like murders, national disaster. Like, it's just all negative. It's just like, bro, like, what is going on? And then it also paints a way a life should go. Like, social media will have you thinking, so you're about to graduate college.
Mm-hmm.
They will have you thinking like, if you don't graduate and you don't got your film studio, whatever you got, by the age of 25, you failed life.
Mm-hmm.
And like, bro, people are still in school at 25. Like,
right.
Like, that's super young. So it's just a poor. It's just really bad out here.
So you think, as of right now, would you guys say like social media is like bringing more harm than good?
Yeah.
I think when it comes to like the long-term psychological effects that social media can have on us, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it can be very detrimental to our mental health and well-being. Because when you really think about it, social media really is what's really pushing for instant gratification. Because say I'm on TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm scrolling. The next thing I see, I'm scrolling. And the way that the advanced analytics work is it views my view time on each video and provides me with more videos to watch similar to that video.
Right.
And so they can create a whole portfolio of basically who you are and your interest, and then just keep pushing more media towards you.
Mm-hmm.
And say, so like, I had a political view, I would get 1,000 more videos of that same political view, which then makes me think that, oh, everybody's thinking the same way that I am.
Yeah.
When it's really the advanced analytics are taking advantage of what you actually like.
Speaking of that, so like, I hate Mark Zuckerberg because he's so powerful, so greedy, and just acts like he does not know what he's doing. When you brought that up, it makes you feel like people around you have the same views as you. Mark Zuckerberg has been to Congress twice, presented in front of Congress twice, for the effects that Facebook has had on society within the last 4 years, especially during Trump's presidency. The whole like targeted ads thing, or just like just taking what you see and what you view from the algorithm and just constantly pushing that content towards you. Mark Zuckerberg was in front of Congress because the 2017 Charlottesville riots, the Capitol riots, any other type of like insurrection or rebellion, anything white supremacy related, anything like that, has been a direct result of Facebook pushing certain ads to people, and not even caring if it's spreading misinformation, not even caring if it's harmful. As long as you're paying Facebook to do these ads for you, they're going to sell it. So I think that's like a very good point to bring up, because like it's like social media is good, in my opinion, for spreading awareness on things, and like comedy, for real, and getting like people's platforms up. But in terms of like everything else, like there's like too little people controlling basically everything that you see. And so like now it's like raising questions as like, you know, as humans we have free will, but like on social media, like do we really even have free will? Do we really even have control of what we see? It's like starting to raise the question of like, what does it really mean to be human in this digital world? Because it's not going to stop at social media. Like it's on TV, movie screens, and everybody has to use a screen, so it's just not going to stop.
Yeah. And then like it has people like influencing people on like the type of body they should have and like the norm, like I'm not saying plastic surgery is wrong. If you want to get plastic surgery, go get plastic surgery. But it's getting to like where they have influencers like saying you gotta have this, you gotta have this type of body to be loved. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, no, bro. Like just like be you. Like if you want that type of body, go get it. But like be you. You know what I'm saying?
And you can really see the influence on social media when something tragic happens with like celebrities, because it'll cause complete divides within friendships with two people that don't even know you at all.
Relationships.
You're having an argument about people that you don't even know.
Like the most recent one. The most recent one, Quavo and Sweetie. Like, bro, everybody was in flames. We're just like, bro.
The internet is always in flames, though. We're gonna be honest. Like, it's just two fires on two extremes of the spectrum.
Everybody was in flames. And I'm just like, come on, bro. I mean, I got into it too. I can't even lie to you. I got into it too.
Yeah, and this conversation is not to say that we are above social media.
You know what I'm saying?
We definitely fall into the
for
traps.
sure. Yeah,
We definitely fall into the traps.
But like it had people just cutting off friends because they was laughing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, bro, it's never that serious.
Okay. I don't think it's that serious, right, to an extent, but here's the thing, like y'all can understand like certain things, like it's just not funny. Like I understand like you could see it from an objective point of view, like you've never experienced that before, you've never been in a violent relationship before, but like seeing like I saw that she smacked him, I saw that, and I saw that she had a bag or something that he wanted, but like seeing a woman get dragged like that by somebody who's bigger than her and stuff like that, one, is not funny, and two, it's just like, it's like no matter what the situation was, like she was dragged, and like if you can find humor in that, or if you can like, or if you think that's like justified in any way, like yeah, I'm gonna start looking at it a certain way, because even though social media like causes arguments, I do think when people show their true opinion, it makes you question if you want to be around that person anymore, which I think sometimes can be a good thing. Like I'm not saying cut everybody off who disagrees with you, because then we wouldn't get anywhere. But like if you feel strongly about domestic violence or just violence against women or just violence in general, and somebody that you know is liking that stuff, laughing at that stuff, then you should cut them off.
Okay, respect.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that situation wasn't funny. Do you think he could have done anything better? Like, honestly.
Well,
I mean, I think they were just, I think they were heated and in the moment. Like, of course, I think that he shouldn't have put his hands on her, but like at the same time, like, you know, when emotions are high and things like that, I'm not saying that what he did was right, but I'm saying like I could see how that chain of events would happen.
For me, like the way that my mom raised me was to just walk away, because it never looks good. Like especially with dealing with like the opposite gender,
Mm-hmm.
especially like because men are just, not to say like we're like bigger or strong. Well, we basically are bigger and stronger, just built different, right? And so since I have that like physical advantage, me like saying like, oh, I'm just gonna lightly tap you. And for someone that weighs under 100 pounds, that lightly tap can send you flying across like the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like how I play with you, Cam.
Okay.
Anyways,
so basically, it's just better to walk away. That's what my mom taught me. So I stick with that.
I find it's better to walk away, but I also find like if like she's hitting you and stuff like that, like the best thing you could do is just like stop her and just like restrain her.
I mean, if you restrain her, it looks like
not like clock her or nothing like that.
If we're really being realistic,
just like hold her hands down.
If we're really being realistic, which looks worse, you trying to hit a female or a female trying to hit you? It's a double standard, but which looks worse? A big black guy hitting a little girl that's 5'2", you're 5'10". Which looks worse though? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So even if you try to restrain her, it still looks bad.
Yeah, just putting your hands on her in general still looks bad. But just not even like the Quavo and Saweetie thing. Like it just be a different argument every day. I don't know if y'all seen the recent argument about poor people shouldn't have kids.
Well, they're right on that, man.
That I think that's very debatable, but you can go ahead.
I think they're very I have no disagreements with that argument because I work at Walmart. It's Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
I see people with the newest Gucci belt, the newest J's, all bust down to designer. And they on food stamps. They on WIC. Like they doing this and they doing that. I'm just like, how and they driving like different like they driving like Benzes and stuff like that, and they smell like weed too. So I mean that's a lot of money right there. And then they got three, 4 kids running around the store being bad, crying, hitting them and everything like that. It's just like, bro, like. How I just don't understand how you're on food stamps, how you're collecting government money, you know what I'm saying, and you're just.
So the first thing that you brought up was the fact that they have a lot of luxuries, but they don't really take care of their priorities, right?
Yeah.
So I think that really comes down to the root of measures of success, because you feel that you're more successful the more that you. But truly, the richest people, you won't even be able to tell because they're not really wearing designer. They're not rocking the most expensive shoes or have the most expensive houses and stuff. The way that they think is that everything that's not making me money is a liability, not an asset.
Yeah.
Okay. And the way that I would say that minorities are being fed through social media also has a bit of influence on it. That in order to be successful, you need to have these things. You need to have the new Benz. You need to have the new watch. You gotta have Gucci, Louis, Fendi. Everything that's really targeted to minorities because they see us as really the main people that are going out buying stuff.
Okay. Okay, so with that argument, I brought the argument up to say because like I didn't like how people were like on completely opposite ends of the spectrum when two things can be true at once. And not even just two things, like more than one thing can be true at the same time. So one argument was poor people shouldn't have kids. And then the other argument was if poor people didn't have kids, majority of us wouldn't be here. Okay. That's so and you're saying like because people are poor, then you should deny them like access to you know a life and a family and stuff like that. But like the problem that I have with social media again is just like just people thinking there's just a right or wrong, like my way or the highway, and like not being able to hear people out. And I will admit, like when I first started on social media, I was kind of like that. Especially like the people that I followed mostly people who thought like me. So not to say that I don't still follow people who think like me, but like I don't take everything to heart so much anymore. And one of my classmates that goes to Howard, his name is Jalen, like at It's Jalen B on Twitter, because I just want to give him credit for what he was saying. But he was basically saying how like, here's the thing, like poverty should not exist in general. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why poverty exists in America has a lot to do with racism, capitalism, and just like the the people who are most impoverished are people of, you know, minority racial groups.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that poor people shouldn't have kids, it definitely goes into eugenics. You're basically saying minority groups shouldn't have kids. But he also said, while we can't acknowledge that, you know, the systems that are in place create poverty and should not be in place, we also have to acknowledge that bringing a child into the world in which you cannot provide for yourself is irresponsible.
Yeah, see.
And so, like, you know, on social media, you had people getting super offended saying, well, if poor people shouldn't have kids, I wouldn't have been here. You wouldn't have been here. And, like, first of all, the argument's stupid because if I wasn't here, I wouldn't know. Like, I wouldn't be here. Like, there's nothing. Okay, I wouldn't be here. Like, what are you saying? Like, if I didn't exist, I wouldn't know I didn't exist because I didn't exist. But also, like, we have to acknowledge that, like, if we're going to get ourselves out of poverty, you know, because nobody's going to do it for us, unfortunately. Nobody's going to help us, unfortunately. We have to start with ourselves. So, yes, it is irresponsible because you see generations of people living in poverty, not just like my parents were impoverished and then I grew up and I had wealth and stuff like that. Like, for example, my dad is one of 8 siblings. He grew up
9. 1 of 9.
Huh?
1 of 9.
8 siblings.
Oh.
But it's 9 of them all together. But of course, and my grandmother, she was a full-time mother for 9 kids, which is crazy in itself. And then my grandfather, he worked to provide. Mm-hmm. Of course, his family is poor, Black family living in America, and 9 kids. Now, my dad, I feel like he's broken that generational curse, you know, while other things may be going on, like he's not in the same position that he was when he was younger. But let's say he had been, and then I decided, and he had kids while he was poor, and then I decided that, okay, so my family's poor, I don't have a place of my own, I can't take care of myself, I'm poor as well, let me bring a child into the world as well. And that logic just doesn't make any sense. And it's just like, we can acknowledge that while poverty shouldn't exist, capitalism shouldn't exist. We all know this stuff. Like, this is just not the way things are supposed to go. At the same time, like, it's our duty to be responsible with our lives, no matter what. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like social media, like, they don't allow you to be able to say, just to be able to just have a conversation. Social media is definitely not the place to have conversation whatsoever. No matter how much we try, no matter how many threads we make, because I'm a threader, but honestly, for I don't be making threads for other people. I just be saying what I got to say and get it out.
Yeah, because you be getting no likes on that. But anyway. Like, yeah, I think you did. I think, especially on this topic, you hit it right on the nose. Just because, like, there's just so there, and there's also so many people that idolize coming up from the mud. Like, bro, why? Like, why do you want to have that kind of story? Why do you want to start out poor? Like, that don't make no type of sense. Like, that just seems to like struggle. Going to bed hungry, seeing your mom, seeing your dad, keeping the lights on and them not eating, and then seeing you eat. Like, bro, like, that's not a cool story to have. You know, so people idolize that. I don't know why.
People idolize and they put celebrities on a pedestal, but people idolize that kind of stuff because, like, they see other people, and other people may say they have a certain story, especially rappers, and they don't. Like, for example, like Migos, like, all of them did not grow up in the trap, but like they'll push that, they'll have that in their lyrics and their songs, and they'll have people who look up to them idolize that lifestyle and try to like emulate that lifestyle. And the thing is, social media is all a facade. Like, nobody is going to post the horrible moments of their life. Some people are, you know. No. I don't understand the people who post themselves crying. That makes no sense to me. Like, how you can even watch that video back and then post it. But like, most of what people post is a facade. So you have people comparing themselves to one version of somebody else. Do you guys? So comparison is the thief of joy. Do you feel like social media is a thief of joy in that aspect?
A thief of joy? I wouldn't generalize social media as a thief of joy as a whole. I think certain aspects of social media can be a thief of joy, though.
Okay, like what aspects?
Like, for example, like what you just said, like by seeing people crying, it's like, oh my goodness, what happened to this person? and then that can really tumble into something bigger. Like, oh my goodness, we need to find the person that made her cry. Like, I've seen people like I've seen people get canceled off of just one side of the story. Like, normally with social media, you're not gonna see both sides of somebody's story because only one person's posting about it, right? And so when you go back and say, oh my gosh, who made her feel this way, it gets millions of likes. That's over. Most of the time, the amount of likes isn't the influence that it had on the number of people. Like, sometimes I might see something and I'm not gonna like it, but say like that video that had 1 million likes really had 3 million people see it,
right?
And so then 3 million people are going off looking for the dude that made that person cry. And so so basically, like, you know how Black Twitter, where find this person, you get their address, you get their school, you get their job, and then those millions of people can really ruin that person's life just off of one side of the story.
I think that's so dangerous. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like social media is like just a coin toss, for real. Like, I feel like every disadvantage that it has, on the other side of the coin, it's an advantage. So like you say, like, it can ruin somebody's life, but some people need a little humbling. Some people do need a little ruining.
That's
and like
true.
You know, like, we're not the judge, we're not God or anything like that, but like, you know, if I see somebody doing something racist, I personally don't have the time of my day to go and search for their job and stuff like that. But I'm glad that people do have the time in their day, because maybe they won't do that again.
Yeah, facts.
You know, maybe they'll have consequences, and they might decide, hey, I messed up, and, you know, I'm gonna have to correct my ways. Or they say, I messed up, and the job might let you go. People might break up with you, whatever. So I feel like it's two sides of the same coin, even with like comparing yourself to other people. Like, it's one thing to not idolize, but
take it as motivation.
Yeah, take it as motivation. Look up to somebody, like, wow, like, it's one thing to be inspired, and another thing to idolize. And I feel like with social media, like, it's like it's a toss up. And I feel like everybody gets caught in that trap, because sometimes, like, y'all follow people that y'all like look up to and that y'all idolize, and sometimes you like want to follow their formula to get what they have and whatnot, but it just doesn't work like that.
I can't. You said it really good. I mean,
yeah, you put the nail on the coffin on that one right
there. Okay, I have another question. Okay, so we talk about off camera. We talk about social media, but we also talk about social media and Christianity and God and everything. How do y'all feel like? Do y'all feel like social media normalizes? I don't want to normalize a sin.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. I mean, so I mean, Darius is kind of like my spiritual partner. Okay, like in the like Christianity sense. He got me like to read the Bible, like in a certain way. And I just like, I see how much sin is normalized. Like in the Bible, like it says like to never have sex before you're married and everything like that. But like, you know, people trying to have a hot boy summer, hot girl summer, like that's normalized, and that's not something that should be like normal. That's not something that's good, because essentially what you're doing, like, sex before marriage, it has a consequence. Like, you never wanted, like, Cameron, you would never want your boyfriend talking to his ex, right? Really? Not really, right? Because like they probably had sex before marriage or something like that, maybe, like, because everybody has sex. You really wouldn't want them talking to like their ex, right?
I think what Ian's trying to say is like, because that person has
it's like a soul tie.
There's a soul tie. So the way that,
so you guys believe in soul ties?
Yeah. It's pretty scientific when it comes to when you're becoming conjoined with someone in that sexual way, because the way that social media they represent it all as like feeling. Oh, this makes me feel good. But when I become attached to someone, the job of sexual intercourse is actually to procreate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm creating a bond also with that person. They're
It's
getting
to
tied to that
procreate
person.
and the bond.
And the bond, yeah. And so when I'm doing that, and I'm not sure if that person is going to be in my life forever, I'm basically giving part of myself to that person that may not even want me the next week.
And like that goes for men and women. Like it goes for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, and like we can't keep on like calling like women hoes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For like catching bodies, because like men are doing like the same thing.
It's double standard.
It is a double standard. Like they're doing the same thing, but at the end of the day, we're not supposed to judge nobody.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because we all sin, and sin is sin, and the price of sin is death.
Right.
So, yeah, and I think with like Christianity, I think one of the concepts people have by it is like saying that it goes against like man's desires and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But the Bible talks about like how they want us to all have inner peace, and how everybody should have peace. It talks about like this point I will always like bring up in this one. It talks about how God hates rich people. We all hate rich people. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to be financially free. God wants you to be financially free. God wants you to only just worry about just the next day. Like and so yeah, I find that of like a flawed way of thinking about the Bible.
I think that's really taking out of proportion.
What do you mean, like a flawed way of thinking about the
Bible?
Because
it doesn't go against, it goes against man's unhealthy desires.
Exactly.
Like addiction,
mm-hmm.
Like addiction, sexual addiction, like addiction any type of way.
Mm-hmm.
But it wants is essentially what you want: peace, love for yourself, love for others, to live in this world and not worry about anything. Like it essentially wants that for you. It wants you to have companionship,
mm-hmm.
you know. But that's what the Bible wants for you. That's what God wants for you.
And you're saying that what people on social media, and like, how's this tied into social media?
So people say that it goes against man's desires.
What, the Bible?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're saying social media shows man's desires.
Yeah, social media shows man's desires and how we all want peace. We all want be financially free. We all want this. We all want that. It just goes against your unhealthy desires.
So like, just like the greed. So like we want, so you're saying like when on social media, like how people idolize like rich people and capitalism, like it shouldn't be that. Like you should want to strive for financial freedom, financial independence, but at the same time you shouldn't strive for that money to be on a certain pedestal. Because I think certain people do that. I think people like see with more money comes more things comes like more attention. I can stunt more on Instagram. I can go more places and stunt more on Twitter, on Facebook or whatever, when the goal should be financial freedom, not greed in terms of capitalism.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when it comes to social media also, it doesn't really show the negative effects that certain things like have on us. Like you may see on social media where people out here smoking and drinking and partying and everything. And it almost makes you forget that we're in a global pandemic and people out here in spring break going crazy in Miami, even in Maryland, kind of, where you really see the detriment that it really has on the people around us. Because being young, our immune systems are definitely like multiple times better than people that are older than us, right? So the way that it works is that when you become asymptomatic, you can really give it to like a lot of people, especially like older people. And so that's really, social media kind of amplifies that by like making you think that, oh, it's just really no problem. There's already a vaccine out. It's like, so basically what I'm trying to say is that social media really has a big tie on real time events also.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Social media, like, I think that like when you said it doesn't show you the effects, you're just talking about the pandemic, but like, you know, you see people smoking, see people drinking, but like going back to like DMX, you don't know if those people actually have addictions.
Exactly.
And you know, you see how people operate when they're drunk, when they're high, whatever. And you might see that, and you might be like, I want to feel like that. I want to feel like that. But you don't know what that feels like. You don't know what that's going to do to your body. But because you see it on social media, you want that. I also think that social media, I say it's very pervasive, because it's like, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've scrolled past something and seen something horrifying, like on accident. Like, I was not even looking for that. I was just trying to go down my timeline, and I come across something, and it's just like, this is the worst thing I've seen. Even with for me last year, I didn't know George Floyd was what it was who he was, and like the situation was what it was, until somebody told me. Because on social media, the preview before you can click to play a video, there might be a picture preview. So on the picture preview, all I saw was like somebody on the ground and somebody on top of him, and I was just like, I do not want to see that. I don't even know what that is, but I do not want to see that. And then when it started like getting more traction and more views, I still have never seen the video, because I refuse to watch that video. But like, just even like, imagine how if that video had played automatically, because we can control that in our settings, thank God. But like, imagine that video had played automatically. Like, I wasn't prepared to see that in my day. And here I am, the video plays automatically, and I'm traumatized. I've seen someone, just to name a few of the things that I've seen on social media. First of all, I've seen tons of porn on social media. Like, I don't even know how that's not regulated. I have had to block so many porn accounts. I've seen somebody be beheaded on social media. I've seen people being run over by cars on social media. I've seen people being shot at and being actually shot. Like, I've just seen so many violent things that I can't unsee that.
So imagine, how old are you right now, Cameron?
I'm 21.
So imagine somebody that's like 14 or 13 or 12 seeing it. Because it just asks you, social media doesn't really check if you're really 18 or 17, where your brain is actually at its peak, where you can actually critically think, and you're using all those alpha brain waves to determine what you're bringing in, if it's truth or not. So the influence, that's why we have social media influencers, right? Because they're definitely influencing the way that you think and what you do, even coming down to the commerce, where you go to shop, where you go to buy like food and stuff, right? So imagine if I was a 12-year-old and I'm seeing all this stuff. Is that demoralizing me? Is my mortality, like the way that, is this really becoming normal to me because I'm seeing it every day?
It is becoming normal to you because you see it every day, and it shouldn't be. I think it robs people of a certain innocence a little too early sometimes too. Like, there's certain things that little kids are experiencing and noticing and picking up that I'm just like, wow. Like, when I was your age, I would have never seen that. I would have never known that.
Exactly.
And I kind of like I've seen social media like start from the ground and go up. Like, I think I've had my Twitter since 2000. Twitter came out. I don't know when Twitter came out, but I feel like it was like 2010 or sometime around there. But I've had my Twitter since 2014. And just like, it's the way I've seen it just go, the different people I've seen get on the platform. Like,
exactly.
It's crazy. It's a crazy thing to witness. Back to your age thing. I also don't like I don't want to say fake accounts, but I'm realizing that a lot of these stan accounts that stan like these certain celebrities and whatnot are very young. I didn't realize, like, and now it makes me cautious of interacting with certain people, because like, I could like say something, and on the whole time I'm interacting with the whole 13-year-old.
Exactly.
And it's just like, and you trying to figure out like, why the heck you're going around in circles in this conversation. Like, is this a competent individual? And the whole time you're 26 arguing with a 13-year-old and you don't even know.
Like, well, with those I'm not going to talk about the stand accounts right now, but like, back to what you said about like how young people have seen like certain things, like what you have seen, I've probably seen at 13.
Probably, yeah.
I've probably seen that at 13. So like, not a different police situation like Michael Brown. No, that's not Michael Brown.
Orlando Castillo.
Yeah.
I
saw that at 13, maybe 14.
And he got shot in his car. In front of his girl and his baby.
See, I think the difference between you seeing it and someone else seeing it today is that my parents and maybe your parents really were seeing those same events because they were also on TV. You know what I'm saying? So they were like, hey, I know you saw this. This is what really happens in the real world. Like, this is what you have to do to prevent this. Although at the end of the day, it may not come to your decision. This is what you can do to take precautionary standards that you had. Like just like how I got pulled over like last year, right? And throughout my mind, I was thinking, oh my gosh, am I gonna lose my life if the police comes up and I'm like, just like, if I do anything wrong? You know what I'm saying? So then I heard a voice in my head to say, put both hands on the wheel, keep forward. When the officer knocks, just roll down the window. And that actually, when I'm looking back on it, that was a video that my grandmother had sent me like years before. And it really stuck with me because, it's of all these events that are happening today. So the difference between you seeing it and versus a 12-year-old today seeing it is that your parents had a heavy influence on the modern day events. But today, social media moves so fast and events move so fast that instant gratification of you keep scrolling, parents don't really have a greater influence in social media.
They don't. So I'm glad you brought that point up, because what do you think about when celebrities say, or just influencers in general on social media say, it's not my job to raise your children, it's your job? How do y'all, I'll tell you how I feel and then y'all can tell me how y'all feel. I feel as though they're absolutely right. It's not your job to raise somebody else's kids.
Okay.
But at the same time, I feel like parents get a shitty end of the stick. Because social media, it's taken away some of the things that parents should be teaching you, parents should be exposing you to, you should be learning from your parents and through your parents, and it's just kind of like throwing you in the fire. And it's like parents are losing. It's not like you can tell your child not to have social media, but like kids are gonna do what they want. And it's like you have all your friends are on social media. Like, why wouldn't you be on social media too? And so you get on social media, your intention is not bad. Your intention is just to interact with your friends. But again, it's pervasive. Like, you see things that you didn't ask to see, that you don't want to see. And I just feel like social media, while on one hand, it's not social media's job, not any influencer's job, not any celebrity's job to raise your kids. With parents allowing their kids to have social media, it's kind of robbing them of the opportunity to teach kids things themselves, because it's not necessarily like your parents aren't going to teach you these things, but it's just like, let's say your parent thought you were ready for, I mean, this is fairly late, but let's say your parent thought you were ready for the sex talk at 16, but you seen porn in your TL at 14.
Oh yeah.
So like it's not any human's fault. It's social media's fault, because
100%.
They're not regulating anything. They're not checking to see how old people really are. Like, it's all that stuff. Like, I think parents get a shitty end of the stick at the end of the day.
They do, 100%.
It's funny you bring that up, because like while you were just saying that, like, I was just remembering, like, it was like 2 years ago, and like I was in the car with you and Jesse, and Jesse knew all the words to Blueface "Bust Down Tatiana," and we're just like, I was just like, how does he know? Like, how does he know this? Like, what is he doing? Like,
but he didn't even have social media then.
Like, thank you. Like, it's just a lot. Like, he should not know that. He should not know that song, a Blueface song called "Bust Down Tatiana." The title speaks for itself. He should not know that. Just how like sometimes it does come with the parents, like how I know you've probably seen videos of like little kids in the backseat and they singing like I don't know, a Lil Wayne song, or they singing like a Megan song, like, and they're like 7 years old. Like,
see, but that's exposure from the parents. It's not like, and that's where like parents have a choice in how they want to raise their kids. It's not like they get on social media and, you know, they're exposed to a certain song and they're like, Mom, what does this mean? And they're like, huh? Like, I didn't expose you to that.
Yeah.
Who exposed you to that?
Exactly.
You know, yeah, I feel that.
I think when it comes to influencers, like having an influence on children, I think it's about who your audience is. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, like an artist that writes a children's book, right? An artist that has events that are just for children singing their song, to go out and then make something that says, hold on, I'm not responsible for what your kids do. even if
Yeah.
they listen to my music.
Mm.
But weren't you the one that was writing a children's book?
Yeah.
And so when it comes to stuff like that, it's about who your audience. Like YoungBoy doesn't really make his audience 9-year-olds. You know what I'm saying?
No, he
His
don't.
audience is people that can either relate to him or people that like to hear his story.
Right.
That's why if you hear a lot of rappers talk about it, they're like, oh yeah, YoungBoy is somebody who I really respect, right? So when it comes to social media and influencers trying to influence kids, I feel like that's a bigger agenda than that's really being pushed on them.
Do you feel like it's a fair agenda or
No,
no?
not at all. It's not fair because it doesn't really give the child. So the way that your brain works, right? When you're at a younger age, say right now I'm 18,
Right.
so my brain is really good at critical thinking and taking and using my alpha brain waves in order to determine what's truth and what's not. But someone who's 8, your brain's not really even close to develop towards someone that's 18, right? So if I'm 8, hearing like Blueface and all that stuff, like Bust Down Tatiana, I'm gonna be like, hold on, what's a Tatiana? And then I might ask Ian, oh, a Tatiana is someone that we consider as someone that goes around sleeping with a whole bunch of guys. And say, and if I go around school calling all these girls Tatianas, right? I might get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And so it's really not fair, and it can really rob somebody's childhood, and they're not even really asking for it.
Exactly. They're not asking for it. So we brought up all the issues. What do you feel like is a solution?
Solution?
Yeah. Do you feel like there is a solution? Do you feel like it's like too far gone?
I think there's not a want for a solution.
Yeah.
There's no want for a solution.
Yeah.
I mean, we can sit up here and talk about it all day, but the million people, us three, doesn't have a bigger impact than millions of people on social media that really like love it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at like Reddit stands and stuff like that, they take what they're learning on Reddit and apply it to real life. If you look at people that are really heavily addicted to social media, because really social media is really somewhere where I can go, where I can feel like myself, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that I like, right? So I'm never gonna want to leave. And so what if I translate social media into my modern day, like going out, being like, so if I came to you and said, oh my gosh, you just got ratioed.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like there's just certain things just within pop culture, like there's everything goes into pop culture. So like entertainment, films, TV shows, like lingo, just like inside jokes that are not really inside jokes if you be on social media.
Yeah.
But yeah, being off of social media, because I was thinking like, okay, well you could be off of social media, right? And you could just decide, hey, I'm not gonna be on social media anymore. But at the same time, it's like I do this podcast. I can't really afford to get off social media because like then I'll be out the loop. Like what the heck am I gonna talk about? I'm not gonna be talking about anything relevant to my audience. So
it's not gonna be able to relate to them
at all because you don't have social media and so many people have social media. I wouldn't say there isn't a want for things to be different. I feel like there isn't people don't really know what like a clear solution would be.
What would my solution be? I think that there should be more regulation on what people can put out. You know what I'm saying? So like I think that there should be like social media moderators, and you should actually be required to, like, I don't know. It's really hard because you're not really forced to tell what your true age is. You know what I'm saying? So that demographic could be towards an 18-year-old person, and the person that's really using the account is 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying? So I think we have to find a solution to fix where people can actually put their real age. And that's hard.
Okay, so you think that it starts with the age people are allowed to be on it.
Exactly.
Okay. And I think that unless they do like a thorough background check, which does cost money,
Exactly.
I don't think that's a good solution, but I don't see that being like the first one.
It's not realistic.
Yeah, in my opinion, one solution would be like I mentioned earlier, Mark Zuckerberg was on trial because basically he was allowing Facebook to bring on targeted ads during the Trump administration that was causing a lot of misinformation and spreading a lot of violence and hate speech and whatnot. I think the first thing that social media should do is be more critical of monitoring hate speech, violent content, and putting up warnings. Like on Instagram, when somebody posts a photo to their story, or even if it's just on their page, it will have there's like sensitive material in this image or in this video. Are you sure you want to see?
Exactly.
And then you get to click to see if you want to see something. I think giving us a little bit more of our free will back and more of our choices back, more of our autonomy, like our ability to choose for ourselves and think for ourselves back a little bit, at least in like warnings and stuff like that, will be a start.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have like a solution, but cause I don't really see a solution because I think people just thrive off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what you two said, they can go somewhere. I think that can go somewhere.
Yeah.
What about blocking with the solution with regulation? It also brings up like free will, because now it's like whoever's in control gets to decide what is and what isn't acceptable. What do you guys think about people getting their accounts suspended or deleted or banned? People have been suspended, but nobody has been banned before besides Trump.
I want my suspended Twitter account back. I want that back. Okay? I did not do anything wrong. I want that back. But getting your account banned, I think Trump had a long time coming, man. That's completely different. Whose account should get banned? I think Ari should get banned. I'm not gonna lie.
Ari Fletcher?
Get it out of here, bro.
Why do you not like that girl?
Bro.
You gotta explain, because I'm not really on Twitter or stuff like that.
You've probably seen her if I search up the picture.
G Herbo's girl. Ex-girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't really do anything, but
she doesn't do anything but sit down on her two butt cheeks and make money.
But she's an influencer.
Okay.
And I think people do not recognize that as a true talent, because like I'm not saying it's right to be an influencer or anything like that, but it's still a talent. It's still a trade, especially with social media. Like, so people, I feel like people see social media still as as just like for entertainment and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah, she's Bonds.
Let me see her.
Oh, well, this is a cartoon.
Why'd you show him a cartoon?
No, I said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But influencing is a skill, and it's not to say that it's right, but I mean, there's a market for it now. Like, people gonna make money, they're gonna make money.
Exactly.
Speaking of market, OnlyFans.
Oh gosh.
I feel like we should talk about OnlyFans. I'm sorry. I know what time it is, but OnlyFans, my stance changed on it. At first, I was just like, this is sex work has been making money since the beginning of time. That's the oldest profession. Like, I don't understand why you're hating. But as it's gone forward, since quarantine, and just seeing everything, I definitely see how OnlyFans I definitely see the effect of social media and how it got OnlyFans popping and how it influenced very, very young women and men to get into sex work without even trying to get into any type of work.
Didn't even try 9 to 5.
You know, and I'm not shaming sex workers. It is a profession. It is, again, a skilled profession. Like, there's people out there who like certain things, who have certain kinks. Like, you have to have like a certain level of like just like patience and just sense of like security within yourself to be able to do that kind of work. But somebody brought up a good point that through social media and through OnlyFans, but especially through social media, it has begun grooming
and objectification. 100%.
Yeah.
And definitely amplifies it, because if you really think about it, when it comes to sex work, it's always been, well, and at least so the way that I really think about things, since I'm a Christian, I put on a Christian filter, and I also put on actual, like, how everybody else would think that really doesn't really care about Christianity at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so going with the people that really don't care about Christianity, if you really think about it, it really doesn't really, it's not really intended for anything that's really good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm viewing OnlyFans, I'm doing it for my pleasure, right? The person on the screen may be doing it because they can't find work. They're not really happy, but I'm objectifying them just for my pleasure. Right. So then when I go to real life and I see, so my guy, like, if I see a woman, right, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's the brainwave, it's a connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm seeing a girl on the screen doing this stuff, can I get this girl to do the same thing for me?
Right.
You know, and it's also like when you see like a person who runs OnlyFans and like you see like the type of pictures they post, right?
Yeah.
You then see like people also post like bikini pictures and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But then like I would instantly think, since I've seen so many people who run OnlyFans post those type of pictures, I'll be like, oh, she got OnlyFans. She got something like that. Like that's the connection I would also have to it. And like the objectifying thing, like people see it as objectifying because they put a price on themselves.
Exactly.
Like they said, for $12 a month you can see all of me.
Yeah.
And for $12 a month and maybe plus a little bit more, I will meet up with you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you put a price on yourself, and the only thing that you put prices on are objects, you know, or like stuff that you sell in a store.
100%.
And you're selling yourself. So it's just like
and if you really look at like the age of OnlyFanners and OnlyFanners, people that are OnlyFans,
mm-hmm.
right? It's like people that are just turning 18.
Yeah.
And those are the highest paid. I was like, bro, is this type of like perversion in this? What's going on?
Bad Baby just turned 18 and she made $1 million, I think, like in her first day.
6 hours.
That's crazy.
6 hours.
$1 million in 6 hours, and you just turned 18. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I do not think the OnlyFans subscribers are in this age group the most.
Oh no,
like not the 20-year-olds and the 17-year-olds.
No.
Like in that age group, the people who are around her age, I don't think those are the people who are subscribed to OnlyFans. So you mean you tell me full-blown adults was fiending over this 17-year-old who was 17 just yesterday, and now she's 18, so now it's okay.
Yeah,
it's like yes, she's at the age of consent, she's at the legal adult age, but like, for people to be waiting for her to turn to the legal adult age, it just shows that you were sexualizing a child until they got to a legal adult age. And it shows that legal adult age is not the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
You know, and what you're saying is wrong, but like a lot of people who are like pro sex work, it just shows like the good and bad. I'm going to explain it. It shows like the good and bad because it's like you're a pro sex work. You're a pro people making their money off of doing sex work. But now since she's making her money at 18, you know what I'm saying? I understand that it's wrong because, I mean, she just turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
But like she's making her money at 18, and like a person like regular person, not like me, is going to be like, oh, why are you mad now? She's making her money. You know what I'm saying? That's what you wanted, you know? And so like then you have that aspect of it, you know, if you get what I'm saying.
But even the viewpoint that I just had, I first seen it from actual sex worker, and she was just like, you know, like sex work is a choice, and sometimes it's your only option. But like she was just like, we have to understand that the babies are being groomed, and they really are. They're being groomed to see, and it also again goes with instant gratification. Like social media is gonna make people work less hard for things.
100%.
Because you see that you can make money off your computer.
Yeah.
More money off your computer doing something else than you can going to a 9-to-5. And that has nothing to do with your moral compass or anything like that. That has to do with society, and that has to do with capitalism. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I would not do sex work, but I can see the logic in doing sex work, especially like you're turning 18, you're like, social media has you thinking that by 21 you got to be making a certain amount of money. So by 21 you better be a millionaire. How the hell am I going to be a millionaire if I'm working at Shoppers for $11 an hour? So, and that shit is taxed.
So the way that I think of things, right? I think of I read a lot of books sometimes, and so I was reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, right?
Mm-hmm. I think I read that.
Mm-hmm. And so the main when you look at minorities, they're really looked upon as consumers, right? So we can pump out a whole bunch of products, and they're gonna come out, and if we advertise it right, they're going to come out and they're going to want it too. Mm-hmm. But the way that I view financial freedom is that if you really look at what not to be racist, but if you look at what white people would do, they save up them, poor white people, they save up their money, right? And they either go and invest it or do real estate. And so there's many ways out here to actually, you can become it's realistic to become a millionaire by 21. If you really put your mind to it, and if you're not in school, if you really want to, if you put your all into it, you can become a millionaire by 21. If I'm 18, I can become a millionaire by 21 if I really want to. But what you're saying with instant gratification really makes sense because it only glorifies the easy ways to make money, right?
Right.
I could spend 3 hours uploading an OnlyFans video, try to get to the top 0.1%, and I can be making over a couple $1,000s a day.
Right.
Or I could be spending my time going out and really using my brain and using my mind to make me money.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to piggyback what you said about white people, like white people, don't get me wrong, they're the majority of poor people in this country, but that's because they're the majority in this country.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't even rich people spend their money. Like
they do.
I feel like the whole idea that in order for you to be rich, you have to save. You can't save what you don't have. Like, again, like I'm saying, like what I'm saying is that the economy does not allow people to truly make a living and an honest living. And social media has two components. It allows you to make an honest living, and it also glorifies instant gratification. Yeah. And so those two things together, like you're finding your necessity financially, and you're finding your necessity, like I want to say, like emotionally and like spiritually, like just getting that gratification from people and instantly. So I think those two things go in hand, and that's like what really like brings things down.
Yeah.
And another thing about social media, like just like working from home, and like people who idolize just not like going to work. It's made a lot of people want to be rappers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It made a lot of people want to be want to make music, throwing stuff out on SoundCloud, and like this stuff like when you're just starting like sex work, or when you're just starting like YouTube, it's not that profitable.
It's not
it's not that profitable. Do you know how well, like, because I literally only see like girls who do OnlyFans, so like I'm just gonna say it. So you know how bad you gotta be to be in the top 1%, and the stuff you gotta be putting out there be in the top 1%
to really be getting the money.
100%, yeah.
Like you have to be at the top, especially like beauty standard wise. Like you gotta be up there, and so like a regular schmegular person, and like that I see walking the sidewalk is not going to be making $1 million off of OnlyFans.
That's facts.
No, like, they're not.
That's true.
And then you also got to worry about people who leak stuff. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So like, it's not that easy.
If you really go deeper than that, right? Say I'm that person that can't get to that top 0.1%. How am I gonna feel about myself?
Shitty.
I'm gonna feel horrible. I'm gonna feel like
you're gonna feel like ain't nobody trying to see me. I'm
not bad enough. But like the influence goes deeper than all of us can really even put into words or thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely does. And people like want to emulate the final product and not the process. Facts, like you brought and it's like diluting professions. Like everybody is not a comedian, everybody is not an actor, everybody is not a musician, and it's just like you got people out here like just screwing around. Like you're not making. I'm serious. Like you're not that funny. You're not making good music, and like you really need to go pick up the books because this is not for you.
No,
and social media has you thinking something else. It's not okay.
Yeah, but. One thing I will say is that I've actually witnessed like one of my childhood friends kind of make it big with rapping, and people were looking at him. He was like 17. We were like, bro, what you doing, bro? You're not going to school. You're not doing this. What you doing? And he ended up going viral, having like thousands of fans and stuff. So I think it's really a gamble. It's a gamble.
Some people are serious about it. Not to say that those who are serious shouldn't pursue it, but if you're just pursuing it like I want to make some money. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good at all. Yeah.
That's not good. But we talked about the effects of social media. We talked about the harms, the dangers, and what we think could happen in the future to like troubleshoot these issues. Is there anything else y'all would like to say regarding like this topic before we move on?
I mean... Not really. I mean, I think we kind of hit it all. I think a main thing we didn't hit was like how social media influences like relationships, like dating relationships and stuff like that.
Unrealistic expectations.
Unrealistic.
Oh
like,
my goodness. Oh
bro,
my goodness.
Bro,
if he's not making, I saw one of them thing on Twitter that Ian sent me. It was like, if he's not making 6 figures by like 20, drop him. I don't want him.
Like
I was like, yo,
if he's not paying the rent, he's
not paying the rent, not paying my nails, not making me get my hair done and paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, come on.
that's kind of wild,
like, bro. I'm not a walking ATM, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I can't do it. I can't do all that, man.
And yeah, the way that I value women, like you can do this all yourself. You can be independent. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to need me. I'm not gonna want someone that needs me. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that you can be okay on your own. Like, you can be independent. Like, you have a brain just like I do. You know what I'm saying? You may not be physically as strong, but when it comes to a math equation, you may be better than me than I am. You know what I'm saying? So you can go out and get a job. You can go out, you can become famous. You can go out, you can make music. Like, you shouldn't have to depend on anyone.
That's 100% correct. Social media, at the end of the day, what I believe, and just the last thing I want to say about this, it blurs the line between perception and reality. And oftentimes what we see on social media, not even saying oftentimes, most of the time what we see on social media is not the reality. And that just means that you really just have to change your perception and get out more, get outside more. Like, I feel
cut some grass.
Yeah, like actually interact with people your age and who are doing the things you do, and maybe you will see that what happens online is not really what happens in the real world. So that's just what I want to say. Thank you, Darius, for coming to the podcast. I think we had a good conversation. Before we go, of course, this week I have a playlist for you guys. The playlist is called a rainy day playlist. I checked the forecast. Let me check it one more time, because hopefully it's not actually supposed to rain this much. Oh, yay. It's actually supposed to rain on Friday instead. It had Wednesday all the way through Sunday raining, but okay. So we got tomorrow and we got Thursday. It's going to be a nice day. That's what I like to see. But I made a rainy day playlist for you guys this week because the forecast did say it was going to be raining a lot more often. And it's April. April showers bring May flowers. But it's a nice soothing little playlist for you guys. Yeah. Have you guys listened to any new music? I always ask this before we go.
New music?
Or what music have you listened to? Even if it's not new. Like, put the audience on.
So Ian knows this about me. When it comes to oh, sorry. So when it comes to music, I really like make sure what I'm listening to doesn't have too much of an influence on me. You know what I'm saying? So normally I'll put on positive music. So one artist that I really like is Jacob Collier.
He is otherworldly. I don't know what that man does, but he is different.
Yeah, so when it comes to Jacob Collier, most of his music is really positive, and it really like puts me in a good mood. And when you really understand music, you can see how the different harmonies merge together, right? And microtonal harmony, all the different aspects of his music is
harmonies, melodies, time signature,
everything,
yeah,
everything. And so when I listen to him, it really lets me open my mind and really try to understand what he's using to create this music that I'm listening to.
That's good. See, and that's why we have guests, y'all. So if y'all haven't listened to Jacob Collier before, listen to him. Darius is right. I listen to him a lot too, as well. Ian, do you have any new music, or is it the same old, same old?
Nah, man, it's not new music. Yeah, it's not new music. I just been listening to like my little vibe playlist.
Oh gosh, who's your favorite rapper, Ian?
My favorite rapper ever is J. Cole. My favorite rapper right now is Uzi. I love Uzi. That's my guy. He's always been my guy. But I don't really like. I mean, I listen to rap, but like that's not the only thing I listen to.
Okay. It's like nah. But yeah. But yeah. So y'all heard it here. Y'all heard what we've been listening to. Y'all heard the playlist that we'll have this week. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this episode. If you made it this far, thank you. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the Check-In Pod 1. Remember to lead with light and to lead with love. We'll see y'all later.
Peace.